Hey guys, Valerie here. I wanted to come and share my January flip through with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my trackers so you guys can see how that turned out. Here's my daily habit tracker. I have the color code over here. The first column is every day I wrote my Bible verse. The blue column is penmanship. Pink is the days I did my makeup. Purple is face care, orange is the days I journaled, and yellow is feet care, like moisturizing my feet, soaking my feet, doing anything like that. So that's how I did for January, and I did little dots, and for February I'm doing little hearts. I did pretty good. In January, not as good as I would have liked on the yellow, but I'll get better. Here's my walking tracker. Here's for the year, or for the first half of the year. My total steps for January was 128,819 steps, which exceeded my goal, so I'm happy about that. My reading tracker. For January, I finished The Princess Bride, 1st and 2nd Samuel, The Productivity Revolution, and Buffalo Valley. Here's our chore tracker. For these colors, they are right here. The colors are here. And I just keep track of when each of those things gets done. You can see the thing that gets done pretty much every single day is the blue, the light blue, which is the kitchen. That definitely needs to be done every day. We are a family of 8, soon to be 9, and we have to keep the kitchen clean in order to continue to eat in our house. This is the Franklin Covey pull-out or fold-out year. And these are all the classes that my husband taught for January. He teaches at 2 places, a country club in the green and 24-hour fitness in the blue. And his total classes taught were 53.5 at the club and 4 at the gym. We do that because he only gets paid once a month for the country club, and at the gym he gets paid twice bi-weekly or every other week. On the back here, it's just the holidays. This isn't a tracker. My birthday's coming up, y'all. Today's the 3rd. 1 week. 1 week from today. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be 35. Here's where my calendar starts. I love this pretty poppy divider that I made. Okay, here's my January index. I do have some things covered up in here, guys, because some stuff is just private. Okay, so here's my monthly. At the end of the month, I went back and added a couple of little stickers. Like this was New Year's Eve. We were out of town. We were driving home on the 1st. Then we had to drive out of town and back into town on the 5th. My husband usually gets paid around the 14th for the country club. I had to pick up my prescription for my diabetes. I have gestational diabetes and I saw the specialist, so I had to pick up my blood strips and the little pokey thingies. What are they called? Lancets? I don't know. The little needle thingies that stab your finger to get the blood out. And this day I had a surprise baby shower, so I put a little cupcake and a heart. And that's pretty much it, guys. My planner is very functional. I usually go in at the end of the month or week or day and add stickers, but it's not something that I do like decorating beforehand. So here was my master task list. I think I did pretty good on accomplishing most of my goals and tasks for January. Here's a copy of my index because all the daily pages, when I take them out, will go into my storage binder, so this will be in there. But my monthly will stay, and I will have that reference here. Okay, so here we go. New Year's Day. You'll see every day I'm keeping track of my steps, also on the daily page as well as on that annual page. I'm just going to do a quick flip through. You see, at the beginning of the month I was hardly using my time slots for things that, you know, we were needing to do. So here's an instance of something that was private. It's probably like a confirmation number or an online order or something like that, because it has a $sign. Or bills or something. If there's like something like this that's covered, it's probably like some kind of journaling that's I don't really want to share with everybody. So I'm sorry for the covered up spots. I know it's not really aesthetically nice to look at, but it's easier to cover it like this than to go in later and add a bunch of blurs to the video. So my oldest had a wrestling tournament this day, and their team actually won districts. I covered up the school name for privacy. They won, and he actually won 4 and lost 1, so he did really well. Here I was trying a little bit of color coding in the indication box. My hand's getting a little shaky, I'm sorry. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. I had to take a few breaths to, I guess, calm down. I get winded easily. I'm 9 months pregnant. So I was trying to do a little bit of color coding, like all of the pink things could be done together, the yellow things, and then like that little like blue or greenish color could have been things done, like group them together. It wasn't by person, it was to group them together so I can kind of batch my tasks. I went to the hairstylist this day and got my hair did, and I love my haircut. It had been a while since I'd cut it. I sometimes highlight the quotes up here if I like them or can relate to them. I do that sometimes. National Sticker Day. I didn't go crazy with the stickers, and I did do my steps. I just did it down here for some reason. I don't know why. I might go back and add a sticker there because that's kind of plain. Okay, so this is where I saw the diabetes specialist, and she took my blood while I was there, and it was pretty high 3 hours after I'd eaten, so that was not very good. And that's when I started managing with my diet, watching what I eat, measuring stuff out, making sure I was following what she said, and I've been tracking it ever since. I put a happy or sad face next to it to quickly see as like a reference how I'm doing. Sometimes I would write a note in the notes page about it if I'd had something kind of questioning or if I wasn't quite sure. My son here, he's one of my middle sons. He's my 10-year-old. He was running with a pencil in his hand and he tripped, and the point of the pencil went right into his forehead. Like, say this is his face, it hit like right by his eye. Not by his eye, above his eye, like an inch above his eye. Like right there on his forehead. So that was a scary time, but he's okay, thank God. Okey-dokes. I'm trying to find a section where I had a note about my blood sugar. My other son had a wrestling duel this day and he got 2 pins. He did very good. I blocked out the name of the school for protection. Okay, here's an instance. So on this day at dinner I had a blood sugar that was over 120, and I put what I thought it could be, the reason I thought it could be, so that way when I go back to the dietitian and talk to her, see, this day I just had a pretty bad day. I had a 120, then I had a 130, which was really high. So I wrote some notes so that way when I go back to the dietitian, I can talk to her about those things. And I also write down everything that I eat, when I take my blood sugar, when I walk, and how many steps progressing throughout the day, and then my final steps. So just so that way when I go to see her, I'll be able to remember, like, and also it helps me to learn what I need to eat and what mistakes I'm making, because I don't want to go to insulin if I don't have to. So far, so good. My son got a 30-second pin at his wrestling match this day, which was awesome. I just had a horrible day this day on my blood sugar. It was high all day other than when I woke up. And then I called the dietitian. I spoke to her a little bit, and then it started getting better because I was managing it with my meals much better. This was a bunch of empty space, so I just went and layered a couple of stickers. I put a lot of yellow because this had a lot of yellow. And then this, usually in these blank spaces I journal a lot, but lately dealing with this diabetes has really not had me journaling so much because I've been so focused on eating and diet, exercising and stuff. So this is, I was using this tracker, this as the expense tracker. Sorry for the shaking, guys. I'm trying to calm my hands down. It's hard to to do this. I'm holding my iPad, so it's getting a little heavy, and also I'm getting winded. So at first I was using it to track finances, but I really don't need that in my planner. My husband and I budget our like a cash system type of thing, so I don't need to know every single transaction. When the money runs out of that category, it just runs out. On the 16th, I went to see my dietitian, which is why that's pink. And so I just used this for the rest of the month to track my blood sugars to see any trends. Like I can see, like for the most part, my mornings were pretty good. Then I had a couple days where they were really high, and those were the same days that my blood sugars were pretty high too after the meals. But then I got it under control when I started lowering my carb intake. So this, for me, for now, is a better use of this tracker. And that is everything on my January dailies and my trackers. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and a share. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.